See, at a point in my life, I wanted to make it to the NBA, and I thought I was working my ass off. I'm like, yeah. I didn't make it for a plethora of reasons. I'm gonna just get into one of them today. Basically, I got to this point, right, where I was so good at going to the basket, I was damn near unstoppable. My first step was crazy. I had a crazy handle, but I was missing one thing, three-point shot. Everybody was like, yeah, that nigga Mark is cold, but he can't shoot. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck these niggas. I'm about to become like Steph Curry. Now, what did I do? I made 1,000 to 1,200 shots every single day for an 8-month period, and I became a fucking phenomenal shooter. Now, let me tell you the reason why that fucked me up. Now, because I did that, I became a far worse player. I became way worse. Like, I became somebody that was just only useful at shooting threes. Why is that? Because by only focusing on my shooting abilities, I then forgot about everything else that I had in the first place. You know, my eyes were so focused on the heavens, bro, that I didn't notice the flowers at my feet. See, I already had this beautiful garden that I had built for myself. But the thing is, I was so focused on these other things that I didn't have that I left everything else behind, and I ended up losing everything anyway because I fucking chased the stars while I already had the moon. What I should have done is try to add to what I already had. See, the right combination of things is what produces success in the first place. If you're just missing one thing, don't only focus on that one thing that you're missing, because truth be told, you need to make sure that you already keep what you have, but then add on to that. You need to add that one thing to what you already have, and then you got the right combination. What I mean is that you got to be competent in all the areas that you've built. So let's say you worked hard at something and you might not see the results that you wanted to get. Don't just look at what you don't have and try to focus on that and use that as a way to get to where you want to go. Say, okay, I'm missing this, but I already have this. What could I add to this combination of what I already have to produce the most optimal outcome for myself, you know, make me successful? Now, if I would have just added that shot to my fucking handles, my dunking ability, in my first step, I would have been probably, you know, like some high major nigga. But I ended up going JUCO and got cooked by the coaches. Niggas was thinking I couldn't dribble and shit. I'm like, man, my handle was crazy. My handle used to be crazy. But I didn't realize I was so focused on shooting them fucking shots that I forgot about everything else. Now, don't look at what you don't have and just forget about everything that you do have. You got to just add that thing on. I should have just worked on my shot gradually, you know, still try to make about 700 a day while simultaneously working on my handles, while making sure that I'm healthy. Oh yeah, I also fucked my knees up doing that too, because I wasn't really focusing on my health. I was just focusing on shooting, and that fucked me up too. Chasing the stars while not understanding that I had the moon with me fucked me up. But I could have still chased the dream. I could have still had the exact same dream. I just shouldn't have did it in a way that other people had done it. Don't look at what other people do and think that you just have to copy them. See, you have your own set of traits, and just because somebody might be progressing at a far faster rate than you doesn't mean that they're always going to progress at that same rate. That's why it's dumb to compare yourself to other people. To be honest, their rate of progression could be like 10 times faster than yours. But at some point, that rate of progression can easily stop, and then they can just fall into full-on stagnation. But you, on the other hand, were just progressing slow and slow and slow and slow and slow. But once you figured out that last thing that you needed to add on to that combination that you already had, then you can just skyrocket. And that can happen. That's why it's pretty dumb to compare yourself to other people. We're different people. We have different traits. We have different rates of progression, but we also have different end-game potential. And potential is the dumbest thing ever to try to guess, because we don't really understand all that's involved. We don't really have all the pieces to the equation, so we can't come up with like an equation that's going to predict our outcome with certainty. To be honest, we don't know where we're going to get, but we do know that it's possible to get there with the right combination. So all we need to do is just continue to work on ourselves until we get to where we need to get to. And along the way, enjoy the side quest, because what you might find there might be more important than what you are looking for in the first place. Also, help as many people out as possible. Become somebody that can help out others who need help, who need this sort of advice. Become somebody that people come to for advice. Become somebody that, you know, helps those people out that aren't really able to help themselves out. Become somebody that helps people out that could help themselves out. Become that useful. The most important thing for a man to do is become useful. Let's be brutally honest here. Like, I heard this one guy say that my family would rather see me die a hero than live like a loser. And to be honest, that's true. Everybody's going to treat you like a loser, because let's be honest here, if you're useless, you really aren't helping anybody out in the first place. If you have a kid, they're most likely not going to help society out. Why is that? Because they were born to some dad who wasn't really there for them. They didn't really have an actual hero growing up, so they only can find one on the internet, and we got the fucking worst heroes as social media influencers. At this point, social media is damn near built off of controversy or just overt sexuality, bro. Now, if these people are the ones that are playing the heroes for your children, imagine if you neglect your children. Those are the people that your children are going to look up to and going to follow in their footsteps. That's like following the fucking jester in the 1800s. See, the jester was the little goofy guy who just kept playing around just to make everybody laugh. But in today's day, the jester is more rich than you, he's more famous than you, and he has way more clout than you. He's actually him. So they're going to follow that hero if you don't become a hero yourself. This is why at this point, if you're a man and you're not a hero, or you're not trying to at the very least become the hero in your own story, you're actually going to be cooked, because your kids are going to look up to the wrong heroes, the fucking goofballs, the people who just spark the most controversy, or the people who are the most sexually active online. Think about it. Look on Instagram right now, bro. Press that little search button and then scroll up. You're gonna see the most controversial takes, or some girl trying to promote her OnlyFans on some goofy shit. Like the girls from the Bop House. Like, what's her name? Like Sophie Rain, bro. She just pulled in 6 million this year. Yo, it's people out there that dedicated their lives to their careers, and they're just now they have to fight so hard just to make 80K. But we got Sophie Rain who does nothing but just shake up. Just shake, you know what, making $6 million a month. Now, I'm not saying to hate on her, because that's not really gonna do anything. You're just gonna be a loser. I told you, if you're focused enough on your own goals, you aren't gonna see what's going on around you. I'm just using that as an example of why you need to be competent, why you need to be the hero in your kids' lives, because they're gonna follow the wrong fucking heroes.